So with the final week of the Call of Duty beta coming to a close today, we're going to be discussing some of the unique and interesting takes that the game has made, some good changes and some horrendously awful. So let's get into it. Hey, what's up guys, it's Sloshy here, NNESAGA's resident COD nerd, and today we're going to be talking about Modern Warfare 2 and should we be worried for what's ahead. So Modern Warfare 2 is an extension to the 2019 release of Modern Warfare. Now I know it's a little hard to keep track here, but follow me and I'm going to explain it to you how it goes. So we have Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare at the start, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2009, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and lastly we have Call of Duty MW2 in 2022. It's a lot of twos. Now, of course, everything discussed in this video is a topic of debate. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, let me know your comments and opinions in the comments below. Now, I've been playing the beta over the past 2 weeks, both on my PlayStation 5 and my PC. A few things have caught my eye in terms of changes, some good, but also bad. So let's just get straight into it and talk about the biggest one, which is the UI changes. Now, anyone that has been playing the beta surely has noticed the awful menu designs. What happened to just Call of Duty menus from the past? The traditional menus where everything is just hidden inside of, rather than these Netflixy, Hulu type streaming services menu that we've got in this rendition. Modern Warfare 2 has taken a more Netflix approach, so to say, as everything has its own title card. I feel like I'm picking a next series on Netflix rather than jumping into the next game of Hardpoint. Now this actually has some reasoning behind it, not the reason for why they've done it, but more the reason as to why it's happened. In a tweet from Charlie Intel that says people have noticed that several UI designers from Hulu and other streaming services have joined Activision in the last few years. Now this could all just be coincidence, but if you ask me, it's understandable now to see why the menu looks like a streaming service rather than the typical Call of Duty game that we like to see. If somehow you've managed to navigate through the awful menus and get to your class setups, this year's Call of Duty has taken a rather fresh approach to weapon progression compared to the previous years. Now, rather than the usual method of having 50, 60, or 70 levels for a gun to get all the attachments and then you move to the next gun, attachments are now bound to certain receivers. So let's use the standard M4 as our example here. The standard conventional M4 has only 19 levels, meaning only 19 attachments that can be unlocked for this receiver. Side note here, a receiver is the main body of the weapon which the ammo is fed into. If you want to use perhaps, let's say, a more heavy duty underbarrel grip, you need to use the M4's chunkier brother receiver, which is the Icarus, which turns our standard conventional M4 more into a heavy machine gun. Now the Icarus has another 15 levels for you to grind, so you see where I'm going here? Attachments are unlocked through using different receivers of weapons, not just the new weapon entirely. Now personally, I'm all for this change as it makes the tedious process of grinding for max level weapons and attachments for Warzone, as I'm sure many of us will be doing upon full release of the game, a bit less of a rinse and repeat job as you'll be able to use attachments from your previously leveled receivers on your new receiver that you're trying to grind out. Moving on to our beloved perk system, and this one is very different. We've now moved on from the previous times where using 3 perks at a time to now 4. Hold up, wait a sec, not so fast now. It's not how you'd expect, just boom, pick your class and that's it, you get all 4 perks straight away. No. You have to go out there and earn these perks. You got to show them that you deserve these perks by getting kills. Now the system and how they work is this. Perk 1 and 2 are given to you as your default at the start of the game. Now depending on your game mode will depend on how you earn your bonus perk and your ultimate perk, which are known as perk 3 and perk 4. Now thanks to JGod for this breakdown on the perks, but in TDM you need to wait around 4 minutes to get your bonus perk, and to get your ultimate perk it's a whole 8-minute wait. Now, of course, these can obviously be sped up by getting kills, and it's estimated that each kill reduces the timer by 12.5 seconds. Similar in domination also, with a 4-minute wait to get your first bonus perk. This is again with 0 kills, but with 9 kills, it was cut to little over 2 minutes. So I think the gist that Infinity Ward are going for here is if you want your perks, you need to fucking work for your perks. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about these changes. On one hand, I like the fact that you're not just spawning in with ghosts to aid you with your gameplay. You need to work for that shit. But on the other hand, the tuning of the timers I think needs to be adjusted. For example, joining a game in progress, you can forget about getting your ultimate perk and getting ghosts to help you get kills. It's never gonna happen. I do know that in the second weekend of the beta, they tried and played with some new timers, so no one's actually found the real timer. But the whole thing is you're gonna have to wait and get kills or, play the objective to get your perks. Now, please remember to share your opinions down below in the comment section. I'd love to know what you guys think of these changes And if you're enjoying the video so far, please remember to drop a like on the video. Now let's move on to actual gameplay. Now the first change, which has the whole community up in arms, is the minimap situation. For MW2 2022, I guess is what I have to say now, using non-suppressed weapons will not show up on the minimap. Let me repeat this. Using non-suppressed weapons will not show up on the minimap. Now Infinity Ward have addressed this situation, but seem stubborn on any changes, as their reasoning is, we do not want players to feel punished by shooting their weapons. In other words, what they've said is, we've rendered silencers basically useless, so everyone just go loud. We also want players to actively search out for the origin of a gunshot versus just traveling to where the red dot on the minimap is. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but this is clearly catered to a more casual scene rather than a competitive scene. This is exactly how campers find a nice happy spot and set up shop in the corner of a room. Now we'll never know their exact location due to them not showing up on the minimap when firing their weapon. Instead, we're being told we have to use the audio cues to find the general direction and go investigate for ourselves. This is a huge L in my opinion from Infinity Ward, and I hope through the feedback from the community and more importantly their competitive scene, they'll revert these changes, as after all, it's been in a previous game that the influencers have already played. Now let's move on to our last topic of discussion for the video. Now we'll merge these two as these two kind of work hand in hand with each other, map design and audio design. Now the map design so far from what I've played on the beta, this is excluding ground war by the way, the maps have taken a much more conventional fan favorite approach of 3 simple lanes. Small and tight close encounters through various buildings on either side of the map, with a large open and wider area through the middle for snipers to fight through. As far as I can go and say, it seems to be that everyone is catered in the maps in the beta, and they're not overly confusing with 4 or 5 story buildings, nor is there any breakable walls in the maps, I'm looking at you Vanguard, to be shot through. And with the clean map layout, audio seems to be working great, as Infinity Ward have finally nailed spatial audio in the whole 360 degrees of the player. So you can really pinpoint where someone is running, catering more to a slower paced game, but can also aid in key tactical situations, callouts and flanks. Now that brings me to the answer to my question for the video. Should we be worried for the future of Modern Warfare? I don't think so. Now yes, my opinion may be slightly a little biased, as I'm in favor for a Modern Warfare era game anyway, and this feels exactly what the community has been missing for the past few years with the inclusions of Vanguard and Cold War. Now yes, there are some changes and fixes we need, such as the menus, the UI of the gunsmith, and how confusing it can be to navigate through all of these menus, but we have been given a fresh approach and design to the Modern Warfare era, rather than just a re-scrubbed and fresh copy of 2019. I'd love to know your thoughts, so please drop a comment down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Links to my social medias are also in the description below, so if you want to connect with me, feel free to follow me on those. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.